Hey, this is JR, the TechSpat OTG. I'm here at the Central Park Reef Hotel today. I'm here to shoot an episode of Old Guys Talking Shit. So Rhea is with me as our cameraman today, and Jeff is here as the other old guy. I'm going to let Rhea be in the video today instead of editing her shooting out, so you can see how we shoot these videos. It's kind of interesting. Normally Rhea wouldn't show up in the video, but today you'll see her working the camera. This hotel is pretty fantastic. It's got a downstairs swimming pool and an infinity pool that overlooks the beach.
Look at that, Cadillac.
Upstairs it has a cafe that overlooks the ocean called the 88th Street Resto and Pub.
They have a balcony.
After looking at the downstairs area and checking it out, we decided to use the upstairs because it was quieter. There were less kids in the pool and less noise from the lobby. So we found a good shooting location in the 88th Street Resto and Pizza. The view from the balcony up here is pretty fantastic. It's really nice in the evening.
It's not bad. Tonic water itself is 135. That's what you pay for it in the store.
Yeah.
That's for, well, it's for a can of it, I assume. That's a can. It says here, mixed drink, local brand, 125. So does that mean a gin tonic local is 125?
Yeah, probably. It doesn't mean that they don't add the gin or the tonic back into it.
Chocolate martini?
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
If you like chocolate.
Yeah, or the old Barretto, the hotels were all one or two floors mostly.
Yeah.
You know, and they could be on the beach, but you know they didn't have a view like this one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is a really nice place.
Yeah, it really is. I like it.
What's this place called?
I don't know, but the theme's automotive, vintage auto.
Yeah. Where is it?
Hey, what is this? This is like the number 4 episode of Old Guys Talking Shit.
Yeah.
Episode 4, right?
Yeah.
Was the election before or after episode 3? I don't remember. Trump wasn't president when we were talking last time.
Yeah.
Right?
And in reality, he still isn't, but the rest of the world seems to think he is.
Yeah, everybody thinks he is. You know, there's a lot of paperwork coming out of Washington right now. All the federal buildings and the White House and all that. You know what it is? Resumes. All over the place. A lot of resumes.
Well, I noticed that even the FBI director's got his resume out now.
Yeah, and resignation right on top, I think, and then he's going to hand it in, and that's it. Yeah, I don't know. I never did like that guy because it never seemed like when anybody would ask him a question that he would answer it. You know, it was always a runaround.
He's not alone. I mean, think of it. Look at these things flying around. What do they call them?
Unidentified flying objects or something now. They changed the name. It used to be UFO, and now it's unmanned aerial phenomenon or something.
Drones.
Yeah, they're drones.
They're flying around. And yes, people in the government, what is it? I don't know. We don't know. But they're safe. They're not going to hurt you. But we don't know what they are.
Yeah, that was something I was going to ask you about. You know, we've been a long time since I came here, and actually I came here and visited several times before I actually moved here.
Yep.
And back then the bar scene was hot. I mean, it really was. You go in the bar and the girls would just be sitting all over you, and They looked like wearing skimpier stuff than they do now and things like that. It's really changed. You've been in the back room all that bar business, so you're probably aware of what's going on with the rules and things. Have they changed?
Well, number one, I never had a problem with girls all over me. Because both my wife and I worked there.
In the same place.
In administration.
Yeah, there would be dead bodies instead. Your wife found out.
Girls would get visited by the authorities saying, your paperwork's not in order. Because Yali was in charge of that.
So you had to keep about this distance from the girls? Then?
No, the girls had to keep a distance from me. I didn't have to fight them off.
You didn't have to fight them off?
Not at all.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, back then things were a lot different, it looks like, than it is now. I noticed that there's, used to the girls were at the doors waving you into the places.
Yeah, that changed even before I left. There was an election just prior to my going to Vietnam, and the new mayor set up a rule right off the bat, and he said, door girls, no more. You work in the bar, you're in the bar, not out front.
Well, look where we are now. I mean, this is not like the old Barretto, not at all. The old Barretto, the hotels were all 1 or 2 floors mostly.
Yeah.
And they could be on the beach, but they didn't have a view like this one.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, this is a really nice place.
Yeah, it really is. I like it.
What's this place called?
I don't know, but the theme's automotive. Vintage auto really looks kind of nice. I haven't been, of course, even visited any of the bars. Ray and I haven't been in any of them, and not really interested in it.
No, me neither.
I'm not. And it's not because I'm old. It's just because they're not interesting.
I have a lot of curiosity about it because having worked there, I would be interested to go back and at least talk to some of the people, especially any of the managers that are still there.
Yeah, it might be fun if you could find some of the girls that work there too, that have retired from the business. And
I know one that's retired, and I know one that's she's working in one of the other places now, but I'm not sure what she does there. It's what is it called? Queen Elizabeth or something?
Yeah, well, maybe Yali can round them all up and find us a couple to talk to.
No, she wouldn't.
She wouldn't do it?
No, she won't. She's not interested in talking to any of them. I think we're
on our own on that.
I think so, yeah.
Well,
I could try talking, I could try getting a hold of the fellow that manages the wet spot. Mm-hmm. I think it's still the same manager.
Still manager. Yeah.
He's worked for Dave Fisher from.
And Dave Fisher's the owner of all these a lot of the establishments.
Quite a few, a few of them. I don't know how many he owns now, but he worked for Dave even back in days when Dave owned a few places in.
So Dave got his start in Angeles, and you did too, right?
Actually, Dave got his start in Thailand.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he owned a bar in Thailand. Sold it and came over here. I don't know if he got in trouble for it.
Yeah. Well, in Thailand, it's hard to say because you can just about do anything and get in trouble there. It's pretty easy.
If you rub the wrong people the wrong way here, same thing can happen, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's a tough, bar business is a tough business. I've been in the restaurant business that had a bar, and even that sometimes can get a little out of control.
Yeah.
And, a perfectly legitimate restaurant with a bar, you can have problems.
Yeah.
It's the alcohol and people don't mix.
I'm kind of curious about what the prices are like in the bars now in terms of drinks.
Yeah, I don't know.
I see the price for this gin tonic, and it's not a whole lot more. I mean, I think it was like 90 pesos.
This place is nice. I mean, I was really surprised. I like the layout, and I like the theme of this one.
Yeah.
It's really kind of cute. Yeah. Reminds me of a restaurant or a bar that used to be in Texas. It was called Studebaker's. It was a pretty interesting looking place. They had cars inside, but those you could sit in.
Yep.
They had them where you could sit in them. which to me is kind of odd because they take up a lot of space. So you reduce the amount of people you can have per square foot.
Yeah, I was in a restaurant in South Africa, and it was like that too, where the booth was built as if you got into a car.
And had the car door, and that's the way theirs were.
Fenders and all that.
Yeah, I think this thing with Trump being the new president might be pretty interesting. Hard to follow politics and care about it when you don't live there. You know.
Yeah. What I find really interesting is the reaction of people outside of America.
Yeah, it is. Nobody understands how crazy we are, and why we have elections that last. They never stop. I mean, the campaigning is already started for the midterms. It's like it's year round, all the time.
Well, I just found it interesting that Trump contacted my prime minister, Trudeau, and I hate to say my prime minister, but he is Canadian prime minister.
Yep.
I would
Theoretically,
never vote for him, never.
No.
There's only about 20% of the population that would vote for him now, according to the latest poll.
Yeah. But why is he still there? I don't know. Oh, that's the Canadian weirdness. And
it's because the NDP party are supporting him.
So that gives him a majority in the parliament, or
with their voice, yes, then they do.
okay, so that's how he stays
And
in.
the leader of the NDP, Gurjit Singh, needs until February to be in power to get his full pension. And if he finishes before that, then he only gets a partial pension. So I think he's kind of just delaying everything until February. Then after that, he's already told Trudeau what he thinks of him. And everybody's saying, oh, great, we're going to have an election, get rid of this idiot. And no. Even just the other day, there was the third non-confidence vote since Singh told the country that he was no longer supporting the Liberal Party. And they still supported him for this one.
So he'll be in there at least until
February.
Yeah, you guys can hold out a couple of months. It's, we have to hold out until January for Trump to get in.
Actually,
I think our old president, I think he's on that beach in Delaware. I don't think he's doing much else.
Well, Trump I think is trying to make some mark on Trudeau by declaring him to be a wonderful governor of the 51st state.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I laughed about that. I laughed that Trudeau didn't just get up and walk out of the meeting because, that's a pretty bad thing to say, actually.
It is, especially when you consider that probably 75% or more of the Canadian public, that's the last thing they want is to be American. Given all our foibles, we're still very proud to be Canadian.
Yeah, I know that the Canadians have a lot of pride in their country, and it's a great place, it really is.
Yeah,
and it's so much diversity. I hate using the word, but there is a lot of diversity there, being that part of it's French, and I kind of in the coastal cities and things, Newfoundland, places like that. I used to enjoy going to those places. They were kind of out of the way for most people, but there's paper mills there, and I was selling paper mill equipment.
Yeah. There's hardly any province that doesn't produce paper in Canada.
Yeah, everybody does make paper there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I've been way up north where where you couldn't even go outside at night. Get a picture of the good service. Thanks.
One other thing about Canadians, we don't take ourselves overly seriously.
No.
I mean, we call ourselves Canucks. We don't call ourselves Canadians.
No, I think, everybody I've known from Canada, you being one of them, that have been really great. I used to do a lot of business up there, and the people were straight shooters. there wasn't as much BS as there is when you try to sell things in the U.S. When I do business in Canada, it usually went pretty smoothly. And you go to New York and try to sell something there, and everything is negotiated. And then whatever you negotiated, they fall through on it. It was not an easy thing to work, you know. But
Yeah.
Canada was really easy. They were smooth and they knew their business. They knew what things were going to cost.
Look what
Silliness.
happened. Look what happened when Trump said, "I'm going to charge 25% tariff on everything you sell us from Canada," and it took what 15 minutes, and Trudeau already had his flight booked to come and visit him to talk about it.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's kind of cool though that he went right down there, you know, and everybody seems to do better with Trump when they're face to face.
but what's with this Mexican president? She says one thing to Trump, and then she turns around and does a complete flip flop again. I think she's been too busy working with Biden.
And I'll tell you, I have been looking at the people that he's surrounding himself with, and you know, you see the people that Biden had around him. It was a really unqualified bunch of weirdos and stuff. And Trump has got some really strong people going in, and I think that he learned a lot from his 2016 election and his attempted term, and it was an attempted term. Everybody was against him, everybody, and he learned a lot from that. He's not a newbie anymore.
And the people that he's bringing in with him show a lot of diversity.
Very much so. Remember, I don't know which guy it was that said, "Oh, he doesn't have any strong women in his." That was total bullshit. He's got a lot.
Yeah, I think the conservative women probably are more kick-ass than the Democrat women are.
The Trump administration, if nothing else, it's one of those old things that, like they say, you know, it might not be better, but it'll damn sure be different. I definitely think that's kind of going to be the way it is, don't you?
Well, I think it's going to be better. It's going to be different and probably better. I guess I'm just old-fashioned, but a lot of the crap that they keep peddling is nonsense. Even what's being taught now in universities in the States, your education system, sorry to knock it, is not one of the best in the world.
Yeah, this thing about having a diversity department and stuff like that, that's nuts. What's it, gender studies and things like that?
On the list of educational standards in the world, Canada ranks higher than the U.S. does.
I think the U.S., Uganda, I think is ranks higher than the
Well,
U.S. I'm not sure. It's going to be a hard turnaround. It's not going to be an easy turnaround. And I don't just mean the political system, which that's going to be incredibly difficult. You can't change the way the culture has evolved over 40 or 50 years.
Yeah.
You can't change that in Trump's 4 years that he has left. It's going to take time because it's ingrained.
Yeah.
Ingrained now. Rhea's going to be going to Vietnam.
When are you going to Vietnam?
April. With my friend.
Ah,
The
okay.
one that went to Coron.
Where are you going to go?
Taran.
Da Nang. Okay.
They should have a great time.
We always do. We want to go.
Yeah. And I get to see the video of it all and say, damn, I wish I had something to do around here except, take care of the cats.
So what are you going to do while she's gone?
I don't know. I have 9 days of freedom.
Maybe you should think about checking out the bar scene in Cebu.
Cebu, that's a major trip.
It's a major trip.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go there. I've been to Cebu and it was not.
Major trip.
Excuse me. Going to Vietnam is not a major trip?
It is a major trip, but ask him if they're gonna go Cebu.
No, I'm not going to go to Cebu.
Yeah, but think of it. You could go with the idea of checking out the bar scene there. You go to one of the bars, you meet up with a young gal, and you say, I need a guy for the next 5 days or whatever days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
No video of that one, that's for sure. I'll leave my camera at home.
That's how it works.
And
That's how
and
you
my-
are, Jeff, huh?
and I'll leave that and my cell phone too. I don't want to be tracked by a cell
Yeah,
phone.
you're gonna hide from me after when I get back.
You're the jealous type?
No, I'm not jealous.
Yeah, right. Not at all.
That sounded pretty jealous to me.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not.
I told you my theory about how to get to be a billionaire in the Philippines, right? Is you invent the vaccine for jealousy. If you could invent that vaccine, you'd be a gillionaire. Every guy in the whole country would be dragging their wives and girlfriends out to get that shot.
I'll tell you what, one gal that I know very well who is very, very jealous.
Really is.
But considering where I was working, she showed a lot of self-control.
Well, yeah, she has to,
Have to, because
has professionalism and stuff.
Yeah, but she also knew that if somebody tried something with me, there was about at least 10 girls that were ready to line up and tell Yali about it.
You have any kind of thing like that going on, you're always 50% guilty. You know, it doesn't matter if you do it or not. You're 50% guilty.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't get around that.
I was fortunate. I never gave her a reason to be jealous. Somehow suspect I probably never will.
We had chickens all over our place out there, and we bought slingshots. And we figured this is the only way we're gonna keep these chickens away from our front porch, and they'd eat the food that we put out for the cats. They poop on everything, and there was it started off, it wasn't too bad. There was 1 or 2 chickens. Before he pinned them up, there were probably 8, maybe 10 big red chickens, and they're just after everything.
Yeah.
And poop everywhere. We're gonna have to change this and call this, what kind of chicken shit show is this? To go on about chicken shit and then show it on YouTube. That's kind of a bad thing.
You'll have to edit this out and make a short, one of those shorts for
that's it. Anyway, that's all. We've got her plans coming up. She's going to be in Vietnam, and I don't have any particular plans. I'm just going to be working on my video stuff. What have you got going on? Anything new?
I was telling Yali the other day, maybe I should go and talk to Dave Fisher and see if I could pick up, managing one night a week. The catch to it all is that as soon as I said about picking up a job, well, first of all, picking up a job, she said, no, you've already worked, you're retired, now you stay retired. Yeah.
You serious about that? You gonna work?
No, Yali flatly refused.
Well, Jeff, I guess that'll kind of wrap it up for number 4. When do you want to get together? I wanted to talk about Daniel Penny a little bit, and the guy that shot the insurance guy. You know, man, sometimes shooting the insurance guy doesn't sound all bad, but that was pretty much a real tragedy there.
Yeah.
That wasn't just teasing about shooting the insurance guy. That was pretty damn serious. I'd like to talk about those things a little bit. And the other thing I wanted to talk about that we've never gone over is the thing that the Mossad did to Hezbollah. I thought that was the most interesting thing when they blew up all the pagers. And I'd really like to talk about that a little bit too in our next get together. That was the most interesting military tactic that I've ever seen, and was done by their intelligence people, Mossad.
It was definitely not a Canadian thing to do.
No, it was not a Canadian thing, and it probably was not a U.S. thing either. So,
But yes, I think that was pretty smart move for Israel.
yeah. Anyway, that's it. This is JR, the Texpat OTG.
Jeff, hi.
We're saying thanks for watching, and catch us in the next. Well, it's time to pack up and head out to the home place in Castellios. That's in Subic, Zambales. I was pretty impressed with the Central Park Reef. It's a really nice hotel on the inside and out. It's a beauty. It sure doesn't look like the old Barretto. We're just going to drop Jeff off at his street, which is near Cairo's, that's been in our videos before, little restaurant, and then we'll head home from there. The trike ride is about 30 minutes from here, and that's if the traffic's bad. If the traffic's good, we can make it in 20. Well, traffic was a little tough getting home, but we made it okay. We got in just before dark. Hey, this is JR, the TechSpat OTG, with episode 4 of Old Guys Talking Shit. I want to thank y'all for watching.